We need to apologize for that, but we'll say you're welcome back to the big story. And today we're looking at the big heart and the more agenda and Delta's expectation looking into the coming year. And what do Deltas truly want from this administration as it concerns not infrastructure and development alone, but others? That's what is taking center stage on the show today. And I see have both of my guests. I'm talking of no other person, but Barrister Fred Latimore is Executive Assistant to the Governor on Orientation and Communication. And Comrade Emeka Awokucha of the Civil Society on Good Governance and Democracy in Nigeria. Both of them are joining me on this lovely discussion. But I'll just quickly say we need to go on a commercial break, get the message from our sponsors, Benetta Gas, located right here in Ugedi, Warrior and the environs. And when we come back, more discussion centered on the big story for today.
Oh, yeah, follow the road, auto better quality. If you talk gas matter, oh yeah, follow Benetta. Gas with the better quality, Benetta gas. Gas where they full rich man to Benetta gas. Home delivery brother na sharply, Benetta gas. For Benetta gas, no mango, Benetta gas. Different type of gas cylinder, Benetta. I feel like that gas we go last you well, na Benetta gas. For gas matter, Benetta now do Benetta gas. Now them they run a Benetta make you carry go.
For gas matter and home delivery, make you wire Benetta gas plant for 080-6745-7890 and 080-5904-7722. Benetta gas plant, the tequila of gas matters.
Well, you know, if it truly matters, then you need to be with us right here on Quest today and bring those business and your goods and service, and let's see how we can talk business and you be a part of the big one. But anyway, we're still remaining with the big story for today. Like I said, we're still talking about the big heart and the more agenda and Delta's expectation. I still have both of my guests right here in the studio. I'm talking of no other person, but Barrister Latimore joining us all the way from Asaba, and also Comrade Emeka Awokucha right here in the studio. But let me quickly come back to you, Comrade Emeka Awokucha. Before the first half, or rather during the first half, we talked greatly about that infrastructure groundbreaking event that happened just on Monday, to be precise. But let's move away from that and look at other majors. And I want you first, because this is also critical to the growth of the state. The human capital development of every state is basic in the mind of development, and education is the key to ensuring all of that. Now, I quickly would want your honest assessment on the educational sector in the state. Are you comfortable with what we have on ground, or do you feel it's a far cry from where it should be? And then just help us state some of the major challenges as it affects that very sector.
Yes, going by the policies of the past administration,
yes,
run by Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, we saw him creating more university high institutions.
Yes.
We saw him creating more technical schools across the senatorial districts, right?
Yeah.
Marvelous in this, wonderful ideas. But then, what we should be asking is, what was the push? What was the idea behind that? And what was he actually looking towards? Is it not to ensure this human capacity development I've just mentioned is actually bettered? And what is the sector that will bring up, that will give this human capital development? Is it not the education sector?
Most certainly.
So if a country, a nation is planning, your plan revolves within the educational sector. Because I wonder, as in, what would a nation become without education? What would a state become without education? What would a people become without education? In other words, education is central. If you want to vacate, if you want to end every disturbances within the human angle, education is key. Then now the question is this: wouldn't a government promote education jealously? Shouldn't education be a prioritized issue of the government? It should be. We don't even need to argue about that. So in the case of Delta State, what actually beats my imagination is that if the government would say, I want Deltans to maintain, to be educated so that we can grow this human capacity, then why would you not make education accessible to every Dick and Harry? So if your policy, as it is written, does not in any way shortchange anybody from accessing education, then why is it that you are increasing your school fees astronomically?
Okay.
Delta State University currently now, I attended that school. I know how much I paid. And what was the school fees before it was increased beyond 200%? Now, the question you will be asking is that a state that would come in the open to say, I want to enhance the human capacity of my state so that my people can be productive, my people can, use their cognitive thinking, my people can turn around the economy of the state. Then on the other hand, instead of, running a policy that will promote that agenda, you are on the other hand scuttling it by what? Increasing the tuition fee astronomically. It is inexplicable. As for me, I don't even know the intendment. I don't even know what actually informed the government to go in that fact. So, it is all about a case of a people coming to say one thing here and doing another thing differently. Delta State, going by its resources, going by, the capacity, resident, and that is endowed with.
Yeah.
Education ought to be prioritized.
Yeah.
If not even free education to university level. Because do you know one good thing about that? When you educate your people, you're not doing them any favor, per se. Because these are the same people that will come to develop the state. Those that develop the state are not going to be imported from outside. It is staying within the people. So when you develop your people, you are directly or indirectly developing your economy. And you are going to see the returns in no distant time. So if you scuttle education, you are automatically stifling your development. So I believe they should understand this better.
Okay.
But what you see on ground here, it's more or less like the government is intentionally frustrating the people from attaining, accessing
okay, now, thank you, Comrade Emeka.
So for me, I think there should be a rethink.
On that issue of
and that is what I expect the current governor.
Yeah.
That it is not everything. He did say more agenda. He's going to improve, develop on what his predecessor did. But I want to say that
I will plead with you to hold on.
He should not follow that.
I will plead with you to hold on. We need Barrister Fred Latimore to react to that very one, as he also gives us an insight on what this administration intends to do as it concerns education in the state. Please go ahead, Barrister Fred Latimore. You heard his comments about the increase in fees, especially as it concerns the Delta State tertiary institution, and a call for a reversal of that very move. I want you to react to his statement, as much as you have to even inform us on what this administration intends to do holistically about the educational sector.
Yes, thank you very much. Comrade Emeka should realize that the educational system is not standing on its own. It is connected to the national economic paradigm of the country.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the nation as a whole, you can see that from the national level, the economy has been mismanaged. And because of the mismanagement of the economy, and like APC is now claiming that President Bola Tinubu inherited an empty treasury, and that the country was already, in comatose in terms of finance. It also affects the entire nation as a whole. And you can see inflation rate that is not going up.
Yeah.
We not buy a 1 liter of diesel for about 1,500. While fuel is about 750 per liter. And then the cost of cement is going up. Yeah. Previously, cement was about 1,500 naira to a bag of cement. It's now about 7,000, 6,500. So if you look at this inflation rate, how do you now manage the educational sector? How do you now manage? If you want to build more school now, it means you are buying cement at the rate of 7,000. And then you talk about research in schools, that you have to pay research fees to the professors, lecturers to do research and all of that. Yeah. You have to train the staff, and you have to pay salaries as well. So it's not an easy task. But what the government is trying to do is to minimize, to make sure that the pressure on the economy is not affecting the educational system. And that is the area that the government is looking at. You recall that recently when he resumed as the governor of the state, there was this problem of certain amount of money that was paid for acknowledgement fee and admission acknowledgement fee. And it quickly came to solve that problem by saying, no, waive that off because the economy is not good. But what we have in Delta today, that we have 3 additional universities and we are building technical schools in each of the state, in each of the local government areas of the state. This is to enhance the human capacity that Emeka is talking about. And the governor is also sustaining that educational policy program of Governor Kowa by saying that we must have more technical educations so that the people we produce from those schools, they can stand on their own. They can begin to make money from themselves. They won't wait for white-collar jobs. So technical education is the area that we are focusing on as far as the secondary school is concerned. And that is why we also have a good commissioner handling that sector, the person of Adanioma, Mrs. Makbo, Joan, who is also now working on those projects. Then you know that the 3 universities that were recently established, they still need to be developed. Yeah. We are still pumping money into the infrastructure development of those schools. And the governor recently commissioned some projects in Agbo and at Awai University, the Genesis Adebo. Yes. So before the governor will start building more tertiary institutions like universities, we will first of all make sure that these ones that we have on ground have the basic infrastructure. The infrastructure development must be enhanced, and then the equipment, what the schools need, we give to them, and then we'll now begin to look at additional universities in the near future.
Okay, now, but Salatimo, I want you to quickly also address the issue of teachers, a shortage of teachers, especially in public secondary schools. And we do know there's a recent recruitment exercise going on, but many would say that exercise is also enmeshed with a whole lot of irregularities as it concerns some persons are busy taking up those slots without proper documentation or getting the right persons in charge. And I want your reaction to that, because we've had a series of calls kicking against the present recruitment of teachers into the secondary school. How transparent is that process, and what's your intention to do more as it concerns getting more teachers there?
Yeah, I think my interest should be on the how we can do more, because the issue of complaint that you raised is neither here nor there. You know our whole culture here. If me, you, and Mr. Emeka, we went for interview now, and at the end of the day, I am taking, you are taking, and Mr. Emeka is not taking, or me and Mr. Emeka is taking, and you are not taking, then your thinking now would be that me and Emeka will have people in government that help us. You are not going to look at our academic qualifications anymore. Maybe you that was not taking, you had a class. The last time has a first class. Emeka has a top class upper division. And 2 of us were taking based on our qualification and experience, and you were not taking. Yeah. Then you now go to town and start saying that Emeka and Latimo was taking because they knew people in government because they were selling slots. So that is a propaganda issue that we keep facing from the opposition government. You also realize that even this mega project that everybody is commending from around the world, the APC still went to town to say that it was overinflated with 50 billion naira. How did they arrive at that? You are not exposed to the BOQ. You are not exposed to the design. You didn't carry out your own feasibility study. You did not carry quantitative or qualitative analysis of the contract document. How did you arrive at that? So our people are already used to this propaganda theory via the social media, which I'm not going to concern myself with. What I'm concerning myself with now is that His Excellency recently has approved the recruitment of teachers, and the recruitment has been done. And what they did was that they recruited those people who are qualified with the basic experience to do the job. So those who are not qualified and were not taken, it does not matter the kind of propaganda they put out, that is inconsequential. And in the near future, as we continue to move ahead, the government will look at other areas in the educational sector, either academic or non-academic staff that are required, and will give necessary approval for such, people to be employed. And we keep doing that to make sure that our educational system is the best.
Oh, okay, now,
let me just say this one.
Okay, yeah, please.
You know that in Delta State, we don't go on ASU strike because of the kind of salaries and maintenance that we give to our university. While all universities in Nigeria are on strike, Delta State University does not go on strike. That must be noted, and this state government must be committed for that.
Okay, well, anyway, well said, and thank you for stating that note. But I want us to look at another major yearnings of Deltans, and I'll rather take it this way. Just within the week, Monday to be precise, Dapo Abiodun, the governor of Ogun State, made a comment that is getting a whole other states interested to get reactions also. And he talked about the fact that a light will never blink under his watch as governor of that very state, and thinks of a new project, they say, Light Up Ogun. Now, Deltans are also yearning for such, knowing how really important power is in the development of not just capital development, but economic growth of the state. Is this administration thinking towards that line of his own independent power project?
As we speak, that is under works right now. The governor is one of the projects that is dealt with how to light up the state. And we are already working with technical experts, looking at the documents and evaluating the project. And very soon, the IPP project for the state will kickstart. Not only for the light issue alone to generate light for our people, the government is also looking at the area of these modular refineries.
Okay.
We want to also have modular refineries across the state so that we can produce fuel from those modular refineries to service the state. And that would bring costs down. The cost of fuel would now go down because of the production, local production that we are going to be having. So you can be rest assured that the issue of light, you know already that we have a few megawatts that we use here in Asaba to power the state secretariat, DBS, and some government infrastructure here. But that is not enough. What we want to do now is for the entire state, and the governor is on top of it, and very soon the governor himself will make a pronouncement as far as that project is concerned.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Latimo. And I'll plead with you to hold on. Emeka Wokocha, you heard what he said. Now, let's look at other major sectors that you feel more concentration going into the year needs to be addressed to deal or improve the livelihood of Deltans.
Yeah, I think what we are doing here is very, very important for me, and it's important for Deltans.
Okay.
I wish the governor is actually listening. However, Latimo will take the message to him.
He's the executive assistant to the governor on communication and orientation.
The development of this state.
Okay.
And we are doing everything within our own small angle to ensure that we push this state further. Because the love we have for this state can never be extinguished.
Of course.
Now, I will tell you, going by the economic crunch, going by the hardship, caused by the recent removal of the petroleum subsidy, it goes without mentioning that Deltans need food. I had written to the governor last 3 weeks telling him that if there's anywhere, any sector he should strengthen his capacity, he should be in agriculture.
Okay.
Mike, let me tell you something. We tend to be ignorant about these salient facts.
Yeah.
If the state government can invest hugely in agriculture, I will tell you, the problems bedeviling the state will be halved. Everything about the nonsenses, about the challenges of the state will be halved. Now, invest a chunk of your yearly budgetary allocation into agriculture, to meet the Maputo Declaration, which says 10% of yearly budget allocation should be given to agriculture at least to ensure, or rather to promote food security. But I will tell you that over the years, this beautiful state has not been able, to invest 2% of its annual
Okay.
allocation.
Okay.
So,
I will plead with you. We need you to continue on that, but we need to go on a break now, a commercial break. But when we come back, we'll continue more discussion. And I would really love Barrister Latimo to also react to that. But let's go on a break and get those commercials, and we'll come back and have more talk.